Hello, I'm Macca's Ninja, and this is Mr. Blazer, and we are currently doing,
We're reviewing Castlevania Circle of the Moon for the Game Boy Advance. I can't actually see where the camera is, can you? No, I'm looking right at it, that's right. Yeah, I can only see what's not in front of me.
It's like tiny.
Yeah. Anyway.
But not as tiny as this game.
The game's freaking huge, I'm telling you.
In a tiny cartridge.
Yes. The Castlevania series is one of my favourite platforming adventure games ever. Starring a family of vampire killers. You probably know Simon Belmont, who's reached mimetic proportions. He's now considered the Nintendo equivalent of Chuck Norris. Make a relevant joke at your own expense.
Like, he's gonna roundhouse kick you in the face, but this time
with a whip.
With a whip.
Yes, indeed. Anyway, he made the leap onto the Game Boy Advance cartridge.
The handheld.
The handhelds, yes. I can't remember when, because it's probably some point, I don't know.
Probably in the
late 1990s.
Yeah, probably about 94, 95.
Not 90. Nah, it's a bit early to be about. Yeah. Yeah.
It's around about there.
Yeah. Anyway, what we're reviewing is Castlevania Circle of the Moon, the first Castlevania game released for the Game Boy Advance. It's another Konami platform adventure game featuring a cross-tier type of defensive structure and a place to remote mania featuring the title. It was released in 2001. Now, you play as some guy named Nathan Graves, a vampire hunter who has nothing to do with the Belmont clan whatsoever, except the fact that he also uses a whip. In fact, the Belmonts aren't even mentioned in this game, as far as I'm aware.
They sound a bit kinky to me, though. Whips. What's with it? How do you kill a vampire the quickest way possible? Use a whip.
It's enchanted a whip, though.
Ooh, whip them into submission.
Indeed. In fact, the Belmonts aren't even mentioned in this game. So, the plot is, Dracula is revived by someone, I don't know. He runs off with Nathan's master, and he and his master's son fall down a pit. Then it's basically, go and get some stuff, level your ass up, and then fight Dracula. And the first thing that struck me about the game is that you don't play as either Belmont or anyone related to the Belmont bloodline.
Which would be more realistic if it was a vampire game.
It is.
Yeah, but what happened to the Belmonts? Not even a side story.
They're not vampires.
Yeah, I know they're not, but they would be in the game, wouldn't they?
Well, you would think, yeah. Anyway, the first thing that struck me about the game is, well, the fact you don't play as a Belmont. They don't feature in the game at all. And the only connection to the rest of the series is Dracula and Nathan's primary weapon, which isn't even the vampire killer, it's just called the Hunter Whip.
Which is still quite weird.
Yeah.
It's the same weapon. Did he kill him?
Essentially the same weapon, yeah. The second thing is that the graphics, although they're nicely detailed, are a bit difficult to see. I mean, most people know about the issues involving the contrast and brightness on the Game Boy Advance. That you barely see what you're doing.
Squinty vision.
You have to angle it. It's like if you're playing in the sun, you are fucked, basically. Everything was quite dark, and I turned my SP's backlight off. I could see nothing. I didn't know what I was doing. Also, the character animation is a bit odd. I mean, I think as I found another connection to the Belmont, the pimp walk. You know, the 4 frames of animation that made up Simon's walking animation. Yeah, all of his other animations have more frames. Why just walking and running? The audio is really good. I quite like the remixes of the previous Castlevania music tracks. Vampire Killer makes an appearance. Whoop-de-doo.
Yay!
Yeah. I'm actually overjoyed that they included Vampire Killer because it's actually one of the better remixes. The sound effects are decent as well, and I don't have a lot to say about them.
How about...
Yeah.
Dead vampire.
However, I can and will nitpick about the game. It's a huge game, so you will understand why when I have to say really loudly what annoys me. Backtracking! That's all you do in this game. And seriously, most of this game involves wandering around, just trying to figure out where you're supposed to go.
And when you get there, you have to go back to get what you needed, like a key, and go back to the place you went.
Yeah.
Go in the door of magicalness, and then it tells you that you've forgotten your paper round. So you go back and do that.
What he said. Essentially, all you do basically is just run around looking for new abilities like jumping off walls and high jumping, and then you go to find the save room, and then you get killed by a Medusa head, and you have to do it all over again. And no, seriously, I'm surprised that I still have hair after that experience. I thought you were going to say something witty. I'm sorry.
You saw it.
Also, the enemies also barely ever drop items. When they do, they're not very good. I mean,
small health. Thanks.
They drop single hearts to give you 10 hearts. By the end of the game, you'll have like something or other 100 hearts, and that will make no difference.
You still die.
And seriously, I picked up about 20 leather armours while wearing leather armour. Hello, there's only one of me. I don't need 20 of them.
But at least this doesn't fall into the category of paradox. Wearing an armour in the suit of your own armour.
Your armour takes up inventory space. It does, actually.
Does it?
Yes.
Yeah, but it's not as bad as Resident Evil.
Resident Evil 4, well, not 4.
5.
4. No, 4 had the best inventory system, but we're not talking about that. Despite all of this, I still like Castlevania Circle of the Moon because, well, I'm a sucker for chip tunes. I mean, I like all the music that the old game hardware showed off. I actually quite like Sonic Advanced music. I mean, I would get a CD of that. You're proving how much you're a nerd I am. It's actually a decent game, if a bit difficult, and you have to really devote some time to it. So there you go.
Okay, that was the end of our little chat. So I've been Macca's Ninja.
I'm Mr. Blazer.
And ciao.
Good night.